Battle of Psychic Season 25 is back, and it's wildly unhinged. This episode continues with the Trunk Challenge. This contestant is the youngest of the season. She calls herself a shaman, and the ritual prep was a lot. She gripped a foxbine in one hand and scattered dirt across the ground. Then she pulled out a pig liver, tore off a piece, and chewed it. She said it boosts her energy. Then she began chanting an ancient song. A moment later, she slipped into a trance and started whispering to the foxbine. But the moves were so half-hearted, the observers in the back literally started snorting with laughter. Meanwhile, the girl kept calling out different colors and quickly positioned herself near the target vehicle.
Парочка какая-то тут. Давай дальше, давай дальше. Это тебе не нравится. А что она тебе не нравится? Что-то там в коробке передач.
Вторая передача хрустит. Не всегда хрустит, но похрустывает.
Her description of the car was completely accurate, but her final answer, wrong. Next up was the Italian witch. Jennifer's specialty is mind reading. She claims she can access anyone's thoughts, so she had the host stare directly into her eyes.
Женщина. 100% женщина.
She even described the woman's appearance, bangs, and over 35 years old. Then she lit a candle and began a summoning ritual.
E ora guardiamo, e ora guardiamo, e ora fatti vedere. E adesso guardiamo. Come l'olio.
She stood up, smiled, and slowly stepped back. And that smile was genuinely unsettling. Then she rubbed her palms together rapidly, calling out red car. She rushed to check all 4 red cars on the lot, but still couldn't lock in a precise reading. So she turned to one of the observers standing nearby. Jennifer told him he'd come to the scene with a woman, and nailed it, his mother. Then she started crying, saying his mother was going through a really hard time. Backstage, the mother's expression completely shifted. Jennifer quickly snapped herself back on track.
Dai, porca troia. Torno alle macchine!
She calmed down and looked over the vehicles. Then she made her choice, and she got it right. Next up was the Dark Sorcerer. He said he'd been doing trunk challenges for 10 years, and that his girlfriend had nearly won Battle of Psychics. He was the boyfriend of Ilona, a contestant from Season 7. She was a legend in her own right, until she passed away at just 29 years old. He says her death was directly connected to him. They were in the middle of a fight that day. Ilona stepped back in the heat of the moment and fell, and then Artyom began his preparation. He said he'd inherited Ilona's magical abilities, and brought her old claw and headscarf to honor that. Once the ritual started, he focused completely, listening for the heartbeat of whoever was in the trunk, and pointed in a direction with both hands. Then he asked the producers to blindfold him. He said this was something he and Ilona had agreed on days before. Blindfolded, Artyom moved forward, one step at a time.
Деревянный крест, на фотографии глаза плохо видно. А кто на фото? Женщина.
Coincidence or not, the car belonged to a woman whose mother had passed away. Her mother always wore glasses in photos, which explained why he couldn't make out the eyes.
6, 0.
The number 6 matched 2 significant dates in the deceased mother's life. It was genuinely hard to explain. Then he walked toward another car.
Девочку вижу.
He said the owner was a young woman, surrounded by people, yet deeply lonely. Then he brought up someone named Natasha. The loneliness, he said, came from burying her own son. The woman backstage broke down in tears. Turns out she had buried almost her entire family, her husband and her child. Artyom stood up and walked to the target car. He pulled off the blindfold, ran to retrieve a bull's heart, and confirmed his answer. He believed there was a beating heart inside that vehicle. Without a doubt, he had kept his promise to Ilona. The next psychic was someone the producers found online, a sorcerer from Siberia. He started by lighting candles and giving himself a smoky eye, using actual smoke. Then he unwrapped the black cloth wound around his arm.
Женщина ждет. Мне больше не понадобится.
And then, he just climbed on top of a car and started looking around. That move earned him the nickname, the Runner Online. He kept sprinting between the cars. Time was running out, so he circled back to the start. He ripped off his shirt and dropped into a hunting stance. Then he pointed at his answer and passed. Here's the wild part. The car he'd climbed on earlier was originally the one the observer was supposed to hide in. They swapped to the purple car at the last minute because the original trunk reeked. Next was the Syrian sorcerer. He knelt down, whispered an incantation, then stood up to search. He described what he was sensing from the car, and the owner confirmed his description. was accurate, but then he chose the wrong one anyway. Next came Anna, the energetic witch. She skipped the intro and went straight for it. She also picked the wrong red car. Then came Vitaly, who claims to be from Tokyo. He says he works with 5 Japanese spirits, and today he'd be calling on one of them.
Это Теноме, старик, у которого нет глаз, но у него глаза на руках.
Then Vitaly blindfolded himself, hoping his blind grandfather's spirit would guide him. Then he opened a box, pulled out 2 actual bull's eyeballs, and began searching. Lots of theatrics, clearly wrong answer. As for the remaining witches and sorcerers, none of them stood out much. The show didn't give them much screen time, but no matter how hard they tried, the results were a miss across the board. One contestant even snapped.
Я все-таки не рентген.
The next contestant calls herself a magic teacher. Larissa claims she personally trained Alexander. For reference, Alexander successfully found his target last season, so could his teacher do the same? Larissa even went public to criticize Alexander, saying he changed for the money and lost his way, that he no longer aligned with their shared values. She said her own work was deeply meaningful because she carries the will of fate within her. She also claimed Alexander once gave her something, and that she'd received biological material from a little demon. Yeah, we're not fact-checking that. Because of Larissa's self-introduction, the little demon himself went online to clap back. He said Larissa was just riding his clout. After all, Alexander is his sister-in-law's husband. Then Larissa pulled out a small bottle, a clear bottle filled with liquid. Larissa said seeds carry the force of life and can only exist in water. Nobody bothered to verify any of that, scandal or genuine magic. Either way, she definitely stirred up controversy. Larissa even mimicked the little demon's ritual moves, and the entertainment value went through the roof. In just 3 minutes, she found the target vehicle. People couldn't help but be impressed. Last up was the witch, Angela. She had survived serious abuse. After enduring horrific violence, she lost hearing in her right ear, but then she began hearing the voices of the dead, and that's how her gift was born. She stood in front of the target car, took the clue, smelled it, and spoke.
Мне не очень хочется никуда уходить больше. Здесь женщина.
Где?
Здесь. Длинные черные волосы. Щечки. С ямочками. Она мечется, она кричит. Ей стыдно. Ей больно. Она сыну кричит. Она сына хотела убить 3-летним возрастом.
Angela didn't rush to pick a car. Instead, she kept reading the others.
Она показывает тротуар, ночь.
She described a silver car appearing on the sidewalk at night. Backstage, the observer's hands started trembling. Angela was confused. Why would the girl do something like that? Then it hit her. The girl was drunk. The girl's own expression confirmed it.
Она просит простить ее. Чтобы сын простил ее.
Сын-то жив?
Сын.
So was this child's mother's spirit really trapped in that car? Angela opened a dark green car, but it was the wrong one. The host reminded her there were 5 minutes left, but Angela insisted on opening it. She said the child's mother guided her to that choice. When she saw the empty trunk, she nearly broke down. But backstage, the people who had come for answers rushed out to her. She got the wrong car, but everything she had described, it had already been validated.
Твоя мама?
Да.
Она очень сожалеет и просит тебя прийти на...
Angela pleaded with the son to forgive his mother so she could finally find peace. The human soul, it seems to end, but it never truly does. Angela didn't leave. She walked up to every single car and gave a reading. Every word she spoke brought tears to the observer's eyes. She got the wrong answer, but she walked away as the biggest winner in the room. The challenge ended in tears. 12 psychics have officially made it into the main competition. And of course, the most memorable contestants made the cut. What kind of chaos will they bring to the main stage? Follow for part 3.